Recently, a student asked me a question: are recording studios dying? Let's dig in. So, are traditional recording studios dying? I don't think so. But the game has changed a lot in the last 10 years, and studios really need to adapt. And I think it's that failure to adapt that is the thing that's going to close them down. A studio is a business after all, and don't forget, it's also a service industry as well. It's there to service clients. So if it's not giving clients what they want, then they're going to fall. I've been recording bands all over the country for 16 years, and the game has absolutely changed. I can't tell you the last time I was on a retainer when I was basically being paid to be at the beck and call of a band. Those days are long gone, but the humble studio definitely still has a place in music today. Here's 9 reasons and services that will keep a recording studio open today. But before we dig in, don't forget, I need you to like, subscribe, comment. I'm just starting out in this YouTube game and I really want to do some cool stuff. Number 1, the gear. Put simply, a professional recording studio has a lot of gear that a home studio might not have, particularly analog gear like consoles, outboard, compressors and things like that. Now, it's not to say that a home studio won't have this stuff, but more often it's usually a kind of more grassroots setup that they have. Using this kind of analog gear really does add up to an amazing sounding record. You don't need it, but there's a lot of people out there that really equate a professional sounding record to that level of gear. And it's not just about studio gear either. A lot of studios are going to have a range of instruments, amps, drum kits, snare drums, cymbals, loads and loads of things that can help you make a great record. Number 2, the room. Having a space to make music, particularly if you don't want to program drums or use amp sims, is really, really useful. If you live in a flat or even a house with close neighbours, having a band playing loud and proud can cause offence. Not only that, it might even get you a wee visit from the police as well. A recording studio wouldn't exist if noise was a problem. If neighbours were complaining, they would be shut down. So when you're using a studio, you know that you can turn up to 11, get everybody in the same room, crank it really loud, and it is going to be absolutely fine. Don't forget that recording studios are acoustically designed and optimized, so not only can you turn it up to 11, you know it's going to sound great too. Number 3, recording drums. So yeah, there is a lot of amazing plugins out there that can emulate the sound of a great drum kit in a great room played by a great drummer. But there's loads of people out there that still want that feel of a real person behind a real kit in a real room. Obviously, a great solution to this is to get into a recording studio where you can achieve that really, really easily. The great room, the great drum kit, and hopefully a great drummer is going to make your record sound amazing. And never forget that the basis of a great record is always your drum sound, particularly if you're working in genres like rock and metal. If you get your drum sounding great, the rest of the record is going to fall into place. Number 4, reamping. We all know that there's some great amp sims and modelers out there that do an amazing job of replicating the sound of a great guitar amp. But there's a lot of people out there that still like the sound of an amp cranked and working hard to move some air. And if you're using a valve amp, you really need to crank it loud to get the best out of it. Something like a Mesa Boogie turned up to only 1 can sound like a jar of wasps. Cranking a valve amp up that loud when you're working at home isn't always practical. Remember what I said about the police and neighbours? And also, you might want to be labouring over your guitar parts, so spending a long time in an expensive studio isn't always great. So why don't you work at home, record a DI of your guitar parts, agonise over the perfect solo, agonise over the perfect part of the perfect double tracks, and then send that to a real recording studio and have it reamped through an amazing sounding amplifier in an amazing sounding room, going through a lot of amazing sounding gear. Number 5, Dolby Atmos. So Atmos is still quite new, but there's a lot of bands out there that are taking advantage of it. An Atmos mix room needs up to 12 speakers. That needs a lot of space and, quite frankly, a huge investment to make happen. And also, you need to have the skills to make that mix sound great in that format. There's a lot of studios right now that are upgraded to Atmos, not just to make new music, but also to remix back catalogue in this amazing, cool new format. Number 6, the people. So some people really struggle with the skills to make a record at home. And yeah, there's a lot of resource out there, particularly things like YouTube, that can help people, but there are some people that just struggle to do it. So where are they going to turn to? Well, a recording studio, which is going to be staffed with people that are time served, know what they're doing, and are great at the humble art of making some noise. Number 7, mixing. A lot of people are really comfortable working at home captioning audio, but struggle to make a commercial sounding mix. It's definitely a skill in its own, and people do struggle with it. Obviously, it's a foregone conclusion if you're going to a professional recording studio, the people there are going to know how to mix a record. So if you're struggling to make your mixes at home sound the way you want, then call up a local studio and get some help. Easy as that. Number 8, mastering. Yep, the dark art of mastering. It is definitely a struggle for a lot of people. It's the Slytherin of the audio world for sure, and you need people that have turned to the dark side to help you with it. Mastering isn't easy, and it needs a skill set and an attention to detail that a lot of people struggle with. Yes, you can use a lot of AI mastering solutions and you can get some decent results, but sometimes a really, really great mastering engineer is all you need to make your record sound amazing. And if a studio's got a dedicated mastering engineer that's mastering day in, day out, you're honestly going to be delighted with the results. And the final one, number 9, some people just like making records the old-fashioned way. Some people really enjoy the experience of going into a recording studio, the sights, the sounds, the smells, and the people, and they can really make a record sound amazing. If that's your vibe, a recording studio is going to be an amazing experience for you, and you're going to get all the help, all the gear, all the expertise to get the record that you want. So I think there's definitely still a place for a recording studio in today's world. But we have to respect that more and more people are making music at home, and that's a good thing. What a time to be alive! But some people are going to need help, and that's also a good thing, and that's where the studio is still relevant. So if you're a studio owner, you should be positioning yourself to help people make the music that they want. And if that's you making that from scratch, or helping them with stuff they've done at home, then be there for people. And if you're a band or an artist, don't suffer in silence. Reach out to recording studios and make the record that you always wanted to make. It's all there for the taking, so do it. I hope you enjoyed. See you next time.